Okay guys, thanks for joining my channel again. Just a few quick, before I start this gold recovery material one again, is first off I have a lot of RAM I want to get through today, so I'm just going to be trimming these RAMs. I'm not going to be videoing that, I just brought that into this location, so I have a lot of RAM there I want to trim, so I'll be trimming that. Secondly, don't forget about my merchandise that I hope to give away. I also have a little merchandise shop there on a link to it on the YouTube channel. If anyone wants to buy some of it, they can buy some of it. But as I said, I'm not obliged. I'm not telling anyone they have to buy anything. I'm trying to go. I'll be giving a lot of it away, to be honest. The plan is to give a lot of it away to subscribers. So you have to be a subscriber to my channel. You have to follow me on Twitter and also be on my Facebook page, because I might decide to put a video up and say that, and put it up on Twitter, and everyone that retweets the video is entered into a draw to win a prize. You could win a hoodie, a hat, stuff like that. But I will be doing a video on the merchandise separately, a complete video, just a reminder to make sure that you've subscribed to the channel and that you're following me on Twitter and on Facebook. So the links are there in the channel. So again, you can get I have t-shirts, I have hoodies, I have jackets, I have baseball caps, beanie caps, stuff like that. So with the Scrapping Irish logo on it. So that's that first off. So for this video, I'm going to be scrapping out a printer. So this is a all-in-one printer, scanner, printer, photocopier. It's got your card readers on it, so your USB straight into it. You can do your cards into it. So this is a Dell model Photo 926. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the screws off it. So anywhere I see screws, they're going to be removed off it. So again, I won't bother boring you with me taking out screws out of this. So I'll be removing all the screws. Anywhere I see these screws, I'll be removing all them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video there. I'll come back in when I have all the screws removed, and we'll move on to the next stage. So don't forget to subscribe, like, share, follow me on Twitter and Facebook for your chance to win some of that Scrapping Irish merchandise. Okay, so I've removed some of the screws, not them all. I just said I'd come back and do a bit on screen. So first off, I'll just break this off. I don't bother because it's just on clips and stuff. So I'll just break him off. So it's just a bit of plastic. That's all that is. So again, if you have a way of recycling your plastic, if someone pays you for it, do that. I have a company that'll buy the plastic off me by the ton load, so I stack it up and store it. If you have room to store it, you'll get money for that. So again, some companies will buy it, some companies won't. Sometimes you have to sort it into colours for them. They want you to sort all the white plastic together, all the red plastic, all the black, so on, and then you do it that way. So next off, I might just see, can I remove this clip from in here? Get this off so I can pull back the actual, that's going to be awkward enough. There we go, not as awkward as I thought it was going to be. So again, some people will be looking at me now and giving out that I'm just smashing it up to take it out, but that's just the way I do it. So on printers, it's not as if I'm going to be using it again or anything like that. It's just I want to scrap it out and see what's inside of it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share. As I said, up on the right hand side you'll see my merchandise store. If anyone wants to buy any of the merchandise, it's there available to buy. I'm not telling you have to buy it or anything like that. As I say, there is chances to win it. Now we'll have a look in here. Yes, so there is some ink in here. So again, we have some ink. So on previous videos I would have shown you how I remove the gold from these ink to store them up as well. So again, I'll put a link up in the video, so you should see something appearing up around this location somewhere now, telling you to go to it if you wish to watch the video of the ink cartridges. So we're getting the gold from the ink cartridges. So again, there's another cartridge, you can see the gold along here for your gold recovery. So again, that's them two taken apart. So again, I see more screws now down inside of here. So we'll have more screws inside here, and we'll have stem. So what I'll do now is I'll take off that next layer of screws so that I can get access, and I also will remove the screws that I see here as well, so you can see there's more screws in here. So again, I'll pause the video there. We'll remove the screws from there, and we'll see what's in under these covers that's worth collecting. Okay, so I've removed as much of the visible screws as I can see, but I'm sure there's going to be one or two left, because as always is, anyone that does, and I spotted one straight away. As soon as I say that, I spot one, so we'll just remove this one quickly from up in here. Because there's always going to be a few hidden screws you don't spot until you go tearing stuff apart, and I'm sure there's another one this side. And there is. So just remove him as well. So please leave a comment. Tell me if you enjoyed the video. Tell me if you didn't enjoy the video. Tell me what I can improve on. Stuff like that. So the two screws out of there. So we'll try and see, can we pry this apart from each other. I might need to get a little knife to put in underneath it. So let's see if we can get the clips out from where it's clipping. So we can separate the two from each other. Okay. Try and get these clips removed all the way around. So as you can see from my videos, I like scrapping stuff out, mostly for gold recovery. I like to collect up the stuff, and hopefully I'll have a few gold recovery videos coming soon. I also plan on scrapping out other stuff that we say for copper, for aluminium, for steel, stuff like that. So again, anything you can suggest that you think I should be that you may have scrapped out that had good copper in it, anything like that, or even if you come across something that you scrapped out that you got some gold from that you didn't expect to get gold recovery material in, just let me know, because again, anything we can help each other out, like, but anyone that's into this scrapping, the more information we pass on to each other, the better it is, makes it easier. So again, if you scrap something out like this now, we'd say when I'm scrapping this out, we'll have a look at it. If it's not worth an awful lot of hassle for scrapping out and stuff like that, for the amount of gold recovery material you'll get. So first off, we have some boards. So again, we'll just quickly remove the screws from these boards, and we'll have a quick look at them and see if they're worth anything much. Looking at the back of them, there's not much to them, just a bit of solder, so I'm not expecting anything great on these boards. Again, I know from previous scrap outs on printers, there isn't really much in them. A lot of the time you get a few IC chips, boards with IC chips, and that'll be about it really. There's not much more to it. A couple of ribbons, the ink cartridges, sometimes if you find them, that's a good find, like I did in this one. There was 2 ink cartridges in it, so that was a little good find for myself. So again, a very low grade board on that, possibly a bit of silver inside the switches on that board, but nothing else. A lot of plastic. Anyone that scraps these out knows that the amount of plastic you get out of them is, unless you have a buyer for it, it's just grief. So again, we'll just have a look here. So again, on this board, there's nothing much to it. It's a low grade board. See if we can remove this little LCD display from it. See if we can get that off. Might be something underneath it, but I doubt it. Let me get my knife again. So again, be careful if you're dealing with knives, stuff like that, that you don't let it slip and cut your fingers. I should really have gloves on, but I don't usually, for this type of a scrap out, I don't usually bother with the gloves. It's not most times just taking out screws. So again, as you can see on this board, very low grade board, maybe possibly some silver under these switches, but maybe not as well. The ribbon, again, is that just like a tin solder or something like that. It's not a gold. So listen. So put that aside. Again with the plastic. So again, if you have someone to take your plastic, it's worth gathering it up if you're getting buys just rather than dump it. So we'll just have a quick look at the rest of this. So again, I see some screws under here. So we'll have a look, and it seems to be like a board under this again. So we'll take the screw off, and we'll see it's the board that contains the the cards, so your SD cards and stuff like that would slot into it. So we'll just disconnect it here if we can. Doesn't want to come out. It looks like it's soldered on. Just give me a second, I will just cut the wires here. And we'll get it off that way and we'll get a closer look at it. Okay, so before I put this aside, we'll just have a quick look here. So again, we have a motor here, which you can take out for your copper bearing motors. Put that with your copper bearing motor, so I'll take that out off screen. No point taking that out, we know what it is. Most people know that. Again, the ribbon. And this is not gold plated. So again, that's ribbon isn't worth it. Inside of this, I don't see anything of value, but we'll have a closer look at it maybe later. So we'll put him aside. So I'll leave the plastic over here with the rest of the plastic. And we'll have a look at this board. So again, a bit of plastic stuck to it. Seems to be not much, so it's aluminium. There must be another screw hidden somewhere because I see it's not coming off too easy. So we'll have a try and pull it apart with the scissors. Okay. We see an IC chip. So again, there's a bit of solder here. So we just try and break that off. And the same the other side. Some solder here. So if I can remove it that way to get this protective cover off from the top of it. So it's one side off. That's the other side of it off. So again, that's just usually a bit of steel. You test that with a magnet. So looking at this board, I can see some gold pins. So it's got gold pins. So again, you can put them in with your gold pins when you're collecting them. Some IC chips. So again, I'll put a little link in the video. Hopefully there should be a link somewhere showing up now in a minute of how I remove up around this area again. How I remove the IC chips using heat guns or using the scraping method, where I use a chisel to scrape it off. So again, inside of here we'll have gold pins, and inside of here we'll have gold connectors. So we have some crystal oscillators. That's about it really. Looking at the back of it, there's a few small MLCCs along here. So that's about it on that part. So put him aside. So now we're into this, the rest of this, to try and take it apart. So again, as I always say, there's probably going to be some screws left somewhere. So we'll have a look and see, can we take it apart. So okay, so then we need to pry it around to this side. I actually hate taking apart printers because the amount of stuff you get in them is very little and a lot of plastic and stuff. So again, we have a bit of plastic here, some sort of connector. So we'll have a look at that. It must be a sensor to tell it when it's closed properly. So again, there's nothing on that, only a bit of silver, or not silver, a bit of tin, solder usually. And down here we have, if I can remove this from it, just again, nothing there of any note. Sometimes under that black dot, if you can see that black dot, let me see if I can zoom in for you. So, let it focus. Under that little black dot there, sometimes you can get a little bit of gold under them black dots, so, or that epoxy that'll be on it. But for the size of that, it's not even worth having a go at it. So we'll leave that aside and get a closer look at the rest of the remainder of this. So first off, I see a little motor in here. So we'll have a little bit of copper motor. I see a little board running along here. We'll get that out in a minute. Steel, a lot of steel. Over this side again, we have another little sort of, let's see if I can focus in again on that. We'll bring it out a bit, focus in on it. So it's a little board. So again, I'll take the screw out of that in a second. and as you see here, this is the main track that runs across the printer. So that brings you your heads, ink heads or printer heads across the printer. So what I'll do is I'll off screen again, I'll remove them screws. There's more screws in here. I can see more screws here, more screws there, more screws there. As you can see, there's a lot of ink splashing about in here, so that's probably why this person got rid of the printer. It probably wasn't printing correctly. Seemed to be a leak of ink splashing up from where it cleans the heads. So what we'll do is I'll go off screen again, and I'll take off the rest of the remaining screws I see, and we'll come back and we'll see what's in underneath all this. Okay, so I've removed all the visible screws I can see on this. So what we'll do now is we'll just take this apart. Okay, so again, big chunk of plastic. So in with your plastic recycling. They'll buy it, put it aside for them to buy it. So we have the main head unit here. So quick look at it to see, can we remove anything that I've taken the screws out of already? Can this come out? Because I've removed the screws. Okay, so bit of steel with some plastic through it. So into my steel for that. Now let me see, I've spotted some more screws here. So we'll quickly remove this one that I see here. So that one is one of them that doesn't want to come out, but we'll make him come out in a minute. So just have a look at him. That's him gone. Okay, I'm sure there's another one somewhere, because it feels like there's another one, but we've some clips here. So let's see if I can remove this from the clips. Okay. Oh. Okay. So let's remove from the clips that side. Doesn't seem to be any screws left on the bottom, unless under this slider there is there? No. Okay, so no screws left there, but I see clips here. So you can see these little white clips, so we'll try and remove them and see, will that let me? Still doesn't want to come off too easy. A little bit of a ribbon. So again, the ribbon doesn't have anything, but I see a screw in here. If I can get to it, we'll take them off as we're going. So any screws I see from this stage on, I'll just take off. So that's a little board, nothing much on it, low grade again. Doesn't look like they're gold, but possibly could be. We'll have to break them down further maybe and see if they're gold pins underneath. So if we can get these side cogs off, might give me a bit more access into it. No, nothing wants to come off there. So we'll have a look at the other side and see if I can see where we're being held. Well, we're being held here by a clip. So again, I just try and move him forward and see, can we get him to release from this area. Okay. I'm going to have to have a closer look to see if there's any more screws holding this anywhere, but I don't see them. So maybe it might be time to use the brute force, as I say. I'll do that off camera, and we'll come back hopefully. I'm just going to try and pry this away. I don't see any screws holding it anywhere, so it's just probably some clips that are catching it, but I could be a good 10 minutes trying to find them clips. So what I'll do is I'll do it off screen and we'll come back once I've that done. Okay, so found the little culprit. It was this screw in here that was holding the whole lot together, so we'll just remove him. Okay, so again, just plastic. Now, get a closer look at the rest of this. So, again, bit of a spring, just holding these together. So nothing there of value, plastic again. So a lot of plastic. Excuse me, scissors. So again, this was a USB connector. So we will have some gold little pins inside of there. Gold flash, not solid pins or anything like that. Other than that, nothing on that board. So now we have some more screws to take off from under here. Okay, I don't think the screwdriver will reach in there, will it? No, we'll have to do the smaller screwdriver for this job. Oh, excuse me, go again. Oh, broke the pin. Lovely. So. So, as you can see from this so far, very little in the printer, plastic, steel, very little gold recovery materials. I'm not a big fan of the printers, to be honest with you. It's not something I like scrapping out, it's something I try and avoid. If someone's giving me printers, unless it's something very special or very large with a lot of boards that I think might be in it, I don't bother with it. So this is the main board on the printer. So as you can see from the main board, again, the back of the board, MLCCs mainly, front of the board, very little stuff on it. So again, we'll just try and remove this heatsink cover, or okay, I should have brought my shears down with me, but I didn't for this job. Scissors might be strong enough for it, it's not very strong tin usually. So again, I'm going to probably have to get the shears to remove these clips. Another one here. Then two more this side. One, and the last one down underneath here if we can get to them. Okay, so oh, that's actually nice to find. Don't usually find one of them. So we have a gold cornered BGA chip. So again, that's a nice little find on this board to have that. So again, this printer kind of was more higher grade than I thought it was going to be. Copper, a little IC chip in under here. Some wire, if I can remove it, I wonder. There we go. So just some electrical wire, insulated copper wire, and that's about it. So yeah, I don't see much more on that board. So overall, two boards worth taking stuff off. Nice to get the BGA ink cartridges with a little bit of gold on them. So again, we have our ink cartridge with the gold on it. So as I said, previous videos you'll see up there, if you check the links, you'll see the videos for them. Check through some of the other videos, you'll see it. A lot of ink on my hands, a lot of plastic, bit of steel, which is here. The printer heads, if you're looking under here, are usually gold. So we'll just see if I can get them off fairly easy for you to have a look at them. Probably won't click in for me. There we go, that one did, but this one's broken. You see which would be the easiest way to try and remove this, because again, there's been a lot of ink left around these, but is to remove them. Just to get off that printer head, if I can just get it removed out of here or here, either side there. I just need to remove that bar. Once I have that bar removed, the rest will usually come off. What I usually do, to be honest with you, is I belt them with a hammer and I would take them off that way, but I wanted to try and do it a bit more mature way, but if we can just break it off, I'll break it off. No, she's well secured. So I might just go off screen for a second and see if I can get that removed and with a hammer, because it's the easiest way. And we'll just show you the close-up of the cartridge heads, so you can see the bit of gold that's inside of them as well, so you know exactly how much gold or where to look for these gold things. Again, I took this apart with a screwdriver and stuff like that. Usually with printers, I don't bother. I just smash them open, because it's usually just the board, it's usually the printer heads that I keep, the plastic. So again, it doesn't matter if I break the plastic up, it doesn't matter to this person, because they're going to be shredding the plastic anyhow. So usually I don't bother taking it all apart with screwdrivers. I'd probably buy maybe a 10 or 12 printers there, and I'll just smash them up with a hammer to get into them. So when I'm doing that, I'll always put the goggles on. The gloves will be on for that job, but I'm using screwdrivers, clean job like this one, just as a demonstration to show you what's inside a printer. I don't bother using the gloves usually, or the goggles, but I'm telling you that's my choice. So again, I'd advise you to put on the goggles and put on the gloves when you're dealing with anything. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just showing you what's inside it. This is a hobby that I do. This isn't my full-time job. So again, just be careful out there when you're messing with any stuff. So I'll come back if I try and get them printer heads off, and we'll come back and finish up the video. Okay, so I have smashed the cover off that so you can actually see into this, and what I'll usually do is just cut the bar there or break the bar off here to get it off the rest of the way, but I just finish up the video. I just smashed the front of it so we could get a right look inside it. So as you can see from here, we have a little ribbon, and this ribbon is gold flashed with little connectors on it. So that's where your ink cartridge with the gold connectors will meet up with it. So again, when you put your ink in, it'll meet up there, and that's where the connection is made, and that's where it tells it what to do. So it knows by the information being sent back, what's going out, what's coming in. It's just so the printer won't work if they aren't in. So it knows how much ink should have gone through the printer. So it tells you when to get your cartridges changed, stuff like that. So that's where your information comes from. So again, I will remove them off and I store them up, and I will hopefully in a future video treat them all. Just if I can just rip it off here, give you a better look at it. So I'll just take them off like that. So again, you have your gold. You can see the little glitter of gold on it. So they're just gold dimples, essentially. So it can be put into your, same as you would. I'll treat them the same way. I'll be doing my ram sticks fingers, my trim ram sticks fingers. So in future videos, you'll see how to get the gold off from that, and then how to fully refine it. So just to finish up, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because this is the end of the video, so I'm just letting you in on a little secret here. So anyone that has watched the whole video through, I have more merchandise that I'll be doing a little video on in a while. So it's just after arriving here at the moment, so I'll just give you a sneak preview of some of the stuff. So we've got the Scrappin' Irish baseball cap that I just got in, and they only arrived today to me. So I have some Scrappin' Irish baseball caps that I will be giving away. I'm just trying to look to see did I get the beanies in this package. So I said this package just arrived in the door this moment. So yes, my beanies arrived as well. So there's the beanie caps, the Scrappin' Irish beanie caps with the logo on it. So I've got them in. So I'll be doing a video in a while. So anyone that's watched this video all the way through, you've got a little heads up on it about this future video. I have some light hoodies coming here as well, some lighter hoodies, more like a t-shirt hoodie. I also have a very nice Scrappin' Irish jacket. So this is a nice jacket that I'll be giving away. So it's kind of like a baseball-y type jacket or something like that. So for any of my American subscribers, you might like to try and win that. It'd be great for Paddy's Day, St. Patrick's Day for you. You can wear out the Scrappin' Irish jacket. So again, I have a few of them jackets there after coming into me with the Scrappin' Irish logo on them. So embroidered onto it. So again, they're not rubbish jackets or anything like that. So what you want to do is Keep an eye on my my next video that I'll be doing. So you've watched this all the way through, so you know there's going to be another video coming later on. I'll be putting it up later on. There'll be information on that, on how you can win some of this stuff. So make sure you watch this video all the way through. Make sure you're on my Twitter, so you're following me on Twitter. There's a little link up in the homepage of my YouTube channel. You're on my Facebook channel, because my plan, this is a little heads up, will be when I do that second video, I'm going to give away some stuff. I might give away some baseball caps first, start off with that. Will be put the video up on my Twitter account, and anyone that retweets the video will be entered into a draw to get some of the Scrappin' Irish merchandise. So check out that video later that I'll put up on Twitter. So you're getting, not this video, it won't be this video that I'll put up, probably won't be this video, but if it is, you'll see it. It'll say this is the competition. Retweet this to be in with a chance to win. Okay, so keep on looking for that gold, guys. Keep on searching under that, as us Irish people do be. We're trying to always find that little pot of gold. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel.